Welcome to Office 24 by 7. In today's video, we are going to learn how to configure rules and execute them directly from the records in any object. Before we begin, let's quickly understand what rules are. Rules are manual, admin-defined actions that allow you to perform bulk operations or record-level operations based on certain conditions. They help you streamline routine tasks such as assigning records to different agents, converting a lead into a deal, opportunity, or account, updating multiple records at once, bulk assigning records, performing bulk deletions, and more. Unlike automation workflows that trigger automatically when an event occurs, rules need to be executed manually by the user. This gives you controlled flexibility, especially when you want to run an action, only when required. It's also important to understand that rules can only be defined and configured by an admin. Regular users do not have the privilege to set up rules. The admin sets these rules based on the business requirements and chooses which objects the rules should apply to. Now, let's walk through the process of creating a rule that converts a qualified lead into a deal. With this rule, whenever leads reach the qualified stage, you can convert them to deals with a single click. To start, go to the Site Setup page and click on the Rules tab. Here you can see all the rules that have already been created. Let's focus on the rule I've already configured. When lead status is qualified, convert to deal. You can see the name of the rule, its type, the object on which it is created, how many nodes it contains, who created it, and the date and time of creation and modification. You can also see whether the rule is active or inactive. Depending on your privileges, you may also have options to edit, configure, or delete the rule. If you want to add a new rule, click the Add Rule button. A side panel will open where you can enter the rule name and description. For example, I'll give it the name When Lead Status is Qualified, Convert to Deal. And for the description, I'll enter, this rule executes when the lead status is qualified. Then you need to choose the module and object where the rule has to be created. In this case, I'm selecting the leads object. Clicking Submit would open the configuration screen where we can set up the nodes for this rule. I'm not submitting it because the rule already exists with the same name, so instead I'll open the configuration for the rule that is already created. When I click Configure, you can see the rule name at the top. The configuration screen shows various types of nodes that you can use to build your rule, such as if exist, wait time date, people, message file, field mapping, field update, record, and assign. Every rule requires at least one of these nodes, one condition node, and at least one action node. The if exist node serves as the condition. Other nodes are action nodes, so I added the if exist node as my first node. In this example, I want to start with a condition that checks whether the lead status is qualified. Inside the node, I have added a label name and description, selected object as the source, and chosen the leads object. The field I want to check is lead status. I set the operator to is and choose qualified from the list of values. This ensures the rule triggers only for records where the lead status is qualified. Now, since the purpose of this rule is to convert qualified leads into deals, we need to map the fields from the lead record to the appropriate fields in the deals object. For this, we use the field mapping node. Inside the node, you can see how I have mapped the lead name to deal name, created by in leads to created by in deals, budget amount estimation in leads to deal value amount in deals, and the same budget amount estimation to annual recurring revenue in deals. In Office 24 by 7, you can map one field in an object to multiple fields. In another object if needed, I also mapped the assigned user in leads to the deal assignee field in deals. You can add or remove mappings using the add or delete icons. Once the field mapping is complete, we need to create the new deal record using the mapped data. For this, I added the record node. In the configuration, you can see the target object is set to deals, the record type is set as parent record, and the action is set to create. After configuring all the nodes, make sure to save the rule so the connection is established successfully. This completes the creation of the rule. If at any point you add the wrong node, you can simply delete it and add a new one. Now, let's see how to execute the rule inside the leads object. I'm opening the sales module and navigating to the leads object. Here you can see leads with different statuses like new, contacted, qualified, and disqualified. Our goal is to convert only the qualified leads into deals. To isolate these records, I'll use the filter option and filter the leads by selecting Lead Status is Qualified. I have already saved this as a new view named Qualified Leads. Let me open the view. I can select all the records in this view and click the Rules button. This will show all the rules created for the Leads object, including our rule to convert qualified leads to deals. Executing the rule is extremely simple. Just click the Execute button next to the rule. As soon as I do that, the system processes the selected records and converts all qualified leads into deals. A confirmation message appears stating that the rule has been executed successfully. This is one way of executing a rule by filtering the required records first. However, you can also execute the rule without applying any filters. If you select all records inside the Leads object and click the Rules button, the system will still execute the rule only for records that satisfy the condition, which in this case is lead status being qualified. Now, let's verify that the leads have indeed been converted into deals and that the mapped fields are accurately reflected. I'll open the Deals panel and apply a filter on the created date as today. Here you can see all the deals created by executing the rule, and they contain all the mapped data exactly as configured. Before we end, let's try executing one more rule. I'm going back to the Leads object. Here, I'll select all records and open the Rules section again. I've created another rule where if the lead converted field is marked as yes, the lead status should automatically update to qualified. When I execute it, the rule runs through each record and updates the status to qualified wherever the lead converted field is yes. The success message confirms it. To verify the rule execution, I'll open the history of one of the leads. You can see the rule name, the user who executed it, and the list of activities that took place while the rule was running. This helps track exactly how and when the rule was applied. This brings us to the end of the session. You now know how to create rules, configure them with conditions and actions, and execute them from the object records. Thank you for watching.